Hi everyone and welcome. Today I am doing a throwback review on the DC Direct Unmasked line, and this is the Series 2 Clark Kent Superman action figure. Now this figure came out sometime in mid-2000s, I believe. I might be wrong on that. But this is a figure that I've been wanting to get in my collection for a while now. Now the thing about this figure is it shows Clark Kent in his suit that he usually wears, but it also has this ability to make it look like he's about to become Superman with his uniform right underneath, and he does come with some accessories on the side right here. Now in this line, in the back right here, you will see that this line also had a variety of other characters such as the Red Hood Joker, the Barbara Gordon Batgirl, the Bruce Wayne Batman, and the John Johns Martian Manhunter. And this is the line of DC Direct figures, which means it's about a 7-inch scale figure, but it's really nicely done, and I'm really looking forward to checking this guy out. So let's open him up and see what he's all about. Alright, so let's start doing this. Slowly opening him up. Alright, there we go. There goes the back, and here comes the figure outside. And as you can see, he is held very nicely with his other accessories, which is his glasses, his shirt, and the figure with a stand right behind him. And the one thing I do not like about certain figures at the time when they came out is this: twisty ties. They are a pain in the butt to get open sometimes, and then they tend to ruin the figure in some ways. But let me get this thing out, and then I'll show you how the figure looks overall. And here we have the action figure out of the packaging, and as you can see, he is done very nicely. The head sculpt on this guy is really nicely detailed, and what's great about it is that detail of his head sculpt that looks that of the John Byrne's Superman, which is my favorite Superman. John Byrne's basically made Superman's new origin after the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is pretty much right now the continuation in the new pre-52 Superman that's in the comics right now. So this is a great sculpt to look of that comic book series of the Man of Steel by John Byrne, and I really do enjoy this head sculpt. It's like one of the best head sculpts I've seen in a very long time. And as you can see here, looking forward, you can see he is sculpted wearing a suit, his regular suit as Clark Kent, and underneath this they have sculpted an open shirt with Superman's uniform right underneath there, and it's done very nicely. As you can see, the S right here is very shiny compared to that of the blue of his suit, but it's really well done and very executed nicely. And if you look down here, you can see all the way down to his pants. They're sculpting to make it look like certain wrinkles, which is cool. And then you have his nice little shoes right here. No laces, because Superman has got to change out of his suit very quickly so that he doesn't have to deal with laces. So it's more like slip-on shoes, I believe. But these are really nicely done. Now, this Superman figure comes with two accessories. The first being this soft, pliable shirt, which has a tie connected to it, and it's also not connected to the shirt, which allows you to make like different posing options when you place this on him. So to insert this, you just gotta easily go here, open up the jacket of the suit, and just put it in there, and it's held together by the jacket and by some pressure on the collar part, and it looks very nicely on him. And like I said, this piece is movable, so you can actually have him pose in the way like the wind is blowing through, so it's really neat. And the second accessory, which I think is my favorite of all, is the glasses that come with him. These glasses are made of a clear plastic, and then the rims are painted black, and it's very nicely done. It's nicely done because the lenses on here are somewhat magnified in some way. I don't know how they did it, but it's made to look like as though they're real glasses. So if I were to try and put this thing on him right here, you will see that the look of Superman changes dramatically, because now his eyes look a little bit bigger and it makes his head look a little bit strange. So now it's going to be easier to be disguised and no one be able to know that this is Superman. But it was nicely done by DC Collectibles, my bad, DC Direct. As you can see here, it flows very nicely with the sculpt of the head, so it makes it look so much nicer than that of the comic book. By far, this is one of my favorite accessories for this figure. Now another accessory that comes with this figure is its own stand, and the stand is very oval and it's got a lot of peg holes on here, and it says Unmasked. Now the reason it's got all these peg holes is because it comes with these little pegs. It comes with 2 of them, and you can actually insert them anywhere on this base if you want to be able to have him stand in different places. As you can see, you just put a peg in there, you just grab him, there's a peg hole located on his right foot right here, and you just put it in there, and that is basically it. So it's very nice for them to give a stand for this figure, and because I mean it doesn't have any articulation in the feet, so there's no way it could possibly fall over, but it's nice for them to have it as part of their Unmasked series. Now let's take a look at the articulation on this figure, and DC Direct did a pretty good job with this figure, being that he's Clark Kent in his suit, so there's not much articulation in terms of what he can do, but however he can look slightly up right there, and he can look down a bit. Let me take these glasses off before I accidentally break them. And as you can see right here, he can look left and he can look right, and he does have some pivot, so you can give him a little bit of posability there. His hand can go all the way around. It cannot go up whatsoever. It's only limited to going around. It does have a bicep swivel. However, it does break up the sculpt, so that's one of the uncool issues on this guy. He has a single jointed arm that can go about 90 degrees, which is not bad. And he does have a swivel on the hand. Not much. It's very limited by the cuffs on his shirt. He has no waist articulation whatsoever. His leg can go only that far forward, and it can go pretty far back, which is interesting. And it's got a single jointed knee, which can bend almost not close to 90 whatsoever, but not too bad. And that's pretty much it. It has nothing on his ankles whatsoever. But if you were to try to make this guy to do in a flight pose, you can pretty much almost get him to do a flight pose. He just won't look as great as you want him to be, but that's not too bad, especially once you detach his shirt. It looks like he's on his way to save somebody, so it's pretty neat. Now I want to do a comparison of this action figure next to one of my other favorite action figures, that is Superman, and that is the NECA Christopher Reeve Superman. This is a 7-inch figure, and this is also a 7-inch figure, and as you can see them next to each other, they scale very nicely. And what's really cool about this action figure is that if you were to take this shirt off, you can see up close that the sculpting on the chest is very similar to that sculpting of this chest of this figure. So it looks as though this costume can be inside of his suit, of the Clark Kent action figure. And what's really neat is what you can do is you can get these glasses from this figure, and you can slowly but surely, don't call me surely, put it on the Christopher Reeve action figure, and it will hold there nicely. And as you can see, this is very, very nice, because now it looks as though this is the Clark Kent action figure from the Superman movie, and it's so nicely done, and it holds there very nicely, and it also distorts his eyes, and that is just a great feature. And it's also just great that you can interchange those parts. So it's really neat to have this figure, because now you can have this Superman with glasses, and if you can also switch this head to this head and see if you can wear them backwards and stuff. So that's really neat about this action figure. So overall, guys, this is a great action figure to have in your collection if you are a big Superman fan like I am, because it's not often you will get a Superman action figure that's just of Clark Kent that turns into Superman, because there's so many versions of Superman out there, and I'm really glad that this one was one of the figures that I was able to grab. I was able to pick this guy up in eBay at a very decent price. They go very high lately. They go usually from 50 to 100 bucks, but I was able to get it much cheaper than that through how should we say, through asking people for different pricing and stuff like that. But overall, I think this is a figure that you would want to have in your collection, because how often are you going to find a great head sculpt just like this one, and all this detail that's involved, and especially these glasses, because these glasses I think is what makes this figure even better. So overall, guys, I do want to thank you for checking this video out. I hope it was informative. I hope that somehow you guys are able to find this if you plan on getting it sometime soon and all that. But overall, thanks. If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe, If you have any questions, please put them on the comment section below and all that stuff. So yeah, so good luck guys, and I will talk to you guys later.